Welcome everyone to the puck drops here. Oh, just waiting. Oh, here we go. Welcome everyone to the puck drops here. This is Peter Fivefoot. There's a lot of stuff going on in the NHL today, and a lot to talk about. As we do say that today was going to be opening day, but with the coronavirus stuff, this is the suspension again. Suspension, coronavirus type talking NHL day 14. It's been 2 weeks. No hockey, but a lot of people in crisis. So we'll go through that. Obviously, stay home, understand how to protect yourself, stay safe, all of that as we get into another episode of Day 14, and we have a lot to talk about. So let's hop right into it. The Ottawa Senators played Boston, and Boston won 5-3 over Ottawa at home. Obviously, Boston, there's some significance. We'll go over that later. The Florida Panthers went to Montreal and lost in overtime. Oh, the Bruins game-winning goal scored by Torrey Krug. The Florida Panthers went to Montreal and Quebec and lost in overtime. Game-winning goal there scored by Max Domi. The Sabres visited the island in Nassau, and the Islanders, Brooklyn, and the Islanders beat the Sabres 4-2 with the game-winning goal scored by Jordan Eberle. The Rangers traveled to Washington, and Washington blanks out the Alexander Georgiev-led New York Rangers. Actually, it was Igor Shesterkin in goal and in net, and the Capitals got a game-winning goal. The first goal scored by Nicholas Backstrom. The Toronto Maple Leafs played Carolina in a hugely playoff-type atmosphere and playoff significance in Carolina, and the Maple Leafs won 4-1, game-winning goal there, scored by Austin Matthews. Philadelphia played the Red Wings, and Detroit upset Philly 5-3, game-winning goal there, scored by their leading scorer this year, the Red Wings' Tyler Bertuzzi, nephew of great net front presence Todd Bertuzzi. And the LA Kings traveled to the Music City to play the Predators, a 4-2 win by Nashville, and a game-winning goal there scored by Philip Forsberg. And the Devils travel to the state of hockey to play the Minnesota Wild. And the Wild get a game-winning goal scored by the former Devil, Zach Parise. So let's jump into the standings here. In the Atlantic Division, the Boston Bruins tally 114 points with 77 games played. Most teams have played 77 games. The Lightning tally 98 points and also have played 77 games. The Panthers tally 92 points. They're third with 78 games played. Some of the most games played in the Eastern Conference are the Panthers. The Toronto Maple Leafs get 90 points and have played 77 games. The Canadiens tally 79 points and collect 77 games played. The Sabres, who have been eliminated, collect 75 points with 77 games played. Ottawa, also eliminated, collect 65 points in 77 games played, as well as the Red Wings, who have 44 points in 78 games played, also eliminated. With those scores, the Canadiens are eliminated from playoff contention due to some tiebreakers with 77 games played. The Toronto Maple Leafs jump into the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference and trail the Panthers 2 points for third in the in the Atlantic Division. Neither of those teams are in the playoffs, but the Lightning are still not in the playoffs because of a tiebreaker that we'll talk about. And the Bruins, with a stretch tiebreaker on the Western Conference seeds, and the St. Louis and Colorado, as well as the Philadelphia Flyers and some other Metro teams. The Boston Bruins are the 2020 President's Trophy champions. So the Bruins will have home ice as far as they go in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So that's all set. The Bruins have won the President's Trophy 2020. In the Metropolitan Division, the Flyers tally 101 points with 77 games played. They're already in the playoffs. The Capitals joined them with 100 points and 77 games played in the 2020 playoffs. And the Penguins joined them as well, 76 games played. They're headed to the playoffs. The Islanders are not yet with 92 points, but sit in the first wild card spot with 77 games played. They have a 2-point advantage on the Toronto Maple Leafs, who sit in second place. The Hurricanes are bumped out with 88 points and 77 games played, not mathematically, just out for this moment. The Rangers, also with 88 points and 77 games played, are out currently. And the Blue Jackets, with 87 points and 76 games played, are in seventh place. And the Devils have 72 points, but are eliminated with 76 games to play. So the teams that are right now in the playoff hunt, but not in the playoffs so far, with four teams, there are four teams right now that have clinched playoff spots in the Eastern Conference. Those are the Boston Bruins, the Philadelphia Flyers, the Washington Capitals, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. The teams that are currently in it right now are that are eligible but haven't clinched are the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Florida Panthers, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the New York Islanders, the Carolina Hurricanes, and the New York Rangers. And the Columbus Blue Jackets, excuse me. And only four of those teams will get in, and two of those teams have to be already in the Atlantic Division, mathematically. The Western Conference is a total another story. The St. Louis Blues tally 102 points, also gather 76 with 76 games played. They're already in the playoffs. And because of what happened with the Boston Bruins, one of those teams will have home ice advantage in the Western Conference, but not throughout, because Boston has won the President's Trophy. Also with 102 points, but 77 games played, are the Avalanche. The Stars have 90 points in 75 games played. The Wild are in fourth place in the Central, but have the second wild card spot with 86 points in 77 games played. The Predators also have 86 points in 76 games played, a game in hand, but they are currently out of the playoffs right now as we speak. The Jets have 82 points, 4 points behind Nashville, and 76 games played. The Blackhawks hold 79 points in 77 games played. They're still in it, but not by much. In the Pacific, but still in the Central, every team has clinched or in the playoff race. No one has been eliminated yet. In the Pacific Division, the Vegas Golden Knights hold the lead with 92 points in 77 games played. The Edmonton Oilers have a game in hand, but also 92 points in 78 games played. The Vancouver Canucks are third with 90 points in 76 games played. The Calgary Flames are fourth in the Pacific with 88 points and the first wild card position, and hold 77 games that have been played for Calgary. The Arizona Coyotes have 81 points in 76 games played, and then all the California teams are eliminated. Anaheim, who holds 71 points and played 77 games. San Jose, who holds 69 points and have played 77 games. And the LA Kings, who have scored 66 points, held 66 points, but played 76 games. So those are all the scores and standings for today's games and today's standings on March 26th, 2020. Tomorrow, once again, the Tampa Bay Lightning have a chance to clinch a playoff spot. They have the same amount of points eligible to make the playoffs because of a loss on games with goals against with the Carolina Hurricanes. The Lightning do not make the playoffs as of today, but tomorrow they have a chance to clinch a playoff spot against Columbus, who are trying to get right back in it. If Columbus wins in regulation, wins at all, they do not get in. But actually, Tampa Bay with a point get in. All they need is a point. Tampa Bay. That'll be a very interesting game tomorrow. Blue Jackets at Amalie Arena to play the Lightning. The LA Kings visit St. Louis, who are trying to distance themselves from Colorado, and Colorado is headed to Manitoba to play the Winnipeg Jets. The Dallas Stars visit the United Center against the Chicago Blackhawks. The San Jose Sharks visit Edmonton to play the Oilers. And one of the old big time nasty rivalries in BC, the Flames are headed there, Calgary and Vancouver. So not a too really big of a night in the Eastern Conference. There's one team in the Eastern Conference, two teams, excuse me, in the Eastern Conference. The heavy rivalry and big time meeting between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Tampa Bay Lightning. But it's a big night for the Western Conference tomorrow, and I hope you tune in back to this program. It'll be day 15 of the coronavirus suspension. This is Peter Pfeiffer, and the puck drops here, signing off. Stay safe, everyone, and happy hockey, everybody.